Sawubona Mzansi, and welcome to tonight's MIH live. Looking forward to this live with you. Thank you so much. I see Victor's here, I see Jay is here, the regulars are here. Shout out to all of the regulars. Tap the screen to show your love, guys. So, let's chat about. Let's talk about what happened last week. So, last week was quite a fight. We we managed to. Thank you so much for the likes. We managed to. What did we do? We managed to up or push out MIH version 1.1.11 to all three of our platforms. So that's to the Google Play Store and that's to the. Oh, not to the Google Play Store, to. Yeah, we pushed it out to the Google Play Store, Apple App Store, and the web. But we were having some troubles because I think on Tuesday we published it to the Apple App Store. And yeah, we published it to the Apple App Store, but there were some issues that we were facing on Google. Thank you so much for the heart, me, Jay. I appreciate you. So I'm sure you saw the videos where Google kept on rejecting us because of our privacy policy. So I'll show you in a second what I did to. I can explain what I did to resolve that now. But so the Apple App Store and the Google Play Store was successful, but Google kept on rejecting our things. So basically, what they were saying is, let me open up my screen for you, and then I'll show you what was happening. So I'm gonna open up. Oh, Jay reached member level 2. Congrats, Jay. Member level 2. So I'm gonna flip my camera for us, and then we're gonna go inside MIH now. So previously what MIH looked like is, sorry, I'm trying to move things. So this is MIH, and if you look at the top, previously our privacy policy looked like this, right? So privacy dash policy at the top, right? So when we click on this and enter, on our side and every other computer that oh my word, what's happening here? Sorry, give me 1 second. I see the people on stream is seeing two, two screens of me. So that would be here. That would be here, properties, here. Oh my word. Anyway, looks like there's some issues on the other platforms, but that's okay for now. But like I was saying, when I went to this was the privacy policy that I gave Google. So you can see it ends with /privacy-policy. And what happened after publishing that is everything was fine for a while, but then I don't know, something changed on Google's side, but they kept on rejecting it, saying that this link over here, when they tried on their side, they getting how can I show you something like this? No, but they getting I forgot what that message was, but it was something like the site is not reachable, the link is not reachable, something like that. But so what I did was, I was speaking to Gemini, I was speaking to all the different LLMs, and they weren't giving me the correct answer, all of them, until finally I came to DeepSeek. And I was having a chat with DeepSeek, and DeepSeek said that it's probably because I'm using Flutter. And how Flutter works is, in order to even reach this page over here that I'm showing you, you have to load the entire application itself. And I think on Google's side, they didn't want something like that. They didn't want a web app. They wanted an actual web page inside MIH. So that's why they kept on rejecting us. So what I had to do is, if we look on the right-hand side, wait, give me 1 second. Sorry, my screen just went black now, but I'm trying to sort things out for the people on. Oh my word, now my camera went off. Hopefully it comes back on. Yeah, but if we have a look over here, under my web app, or yeah, under the web app section, you'll see I have, if you look over here, it is privacy.html. So what I had to do is I had to create a whole different application and serve it as a straight HTML file, right? So that's using your standard HTML tags, head, style. So I put some CSS over here to style the documents and things. If we scroll down, we have an image and all those things, right? So I basically had to recreate the page that, or my privacy policy with HTML and have that accessible directly through to sorry, give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. Problems after problems after problems. So, okay. The camera is now fixed on the other platforms. And let me see if the other one is fixed. Give me 1 second, guys. My apologies. Properties. If it's not going to get fixed now, okay, it's fixed. It's fixed. Perfect, perfect. Sorry about that, guys. I was just fixing it for the other members of Mzansi on the other platforms like YouTube, Kick, and Twitch. But as you can see, I had to recreate everything that was in our normal privacy policy over here, but I had to put it in HTML. So that's what we did, and this is the screen over here. We use really basic HTML over here. You can see the image tag, H1 tag, button, the P, the B. These are just basic H4. This is basic HTML tags that I use to create this. So then I put this, if you look here, under my web folder. So it's basically, this is the root of my web app, of my website. And you can see I have index that kicks off my Flutter app, but I also have privacy policy. So the privacy policy over there, it now, if I open up here and go to privacy.html, click on enter, and it now, things may look the same, but they look slightly different. And this is our privacy policy. So I had to provide Google with this link and then submit it for review. After it went for review, I think maybe like 5 seconds or 5 minutes later, Google approved this. So this is the new privacy policy that when you go to the Google Play Store, let's go to the Google Play Store now, console, the app. Yeah, so if you go to MIH on the Google Play Store, and I think it's at the bottom. Yeah, under app support. So if you scroll down all the way to app support and you expand that, it has the website, it has the cell phone number that you can contact us by, the email address you can contact us, I must update this, and then the privacy policy. When you click on the privacy policy, it now takes you to that new page that I was just showing you here that we created with HTML. So that's how we resolved that issue that we were facing when Google kept on rejecting our application for review. There were some great suggestions in the chat while we were, or from that video that I posted, where people were giving different ideas, and I tried all of them, and this was the only way. I really didn't want to create a whole different HTML file and have it separate from the main application, but it looked like for some reason Google required something like this. So that's what we did. And if you're in this privacy policy, like if, for example, you click on privacy policy here, it opens up. We do have a button on the top that says visit MIH. If you click on that, it takes you back to the main MIH page. So that's how we resolve that issue in order to get version 1.1.11 on the Google Play Store for everyone. So that's what we did. Thank you so much, Sia, for the likes. So the outcome is Google being difficult. 100% Google is always extremely difficult. But I don't blame them. I don't think they have a person sitting and reviewing everything that I submit through to them, right? I think it's an automated process. They probably have what they call crawlers that have to crawl these sites that we give them. And as long as it's active and up and running, then they probably approve it. But because it's in a web app and you have to load, or the web app has to load entirely and then be served to you, I think the crawler doesn't have the capabilities to do that. I've heard that in the past, where even for search engine optimization, that's why if you search Mzansi Innovation Hub over here, onto here, you don't see any of those other links. Like if you, I don't know if you've seen that in other websites, but it takes you to their about page. It takes you to all the different things. So we aren't able to do that because it's a whole web app and it's not a website. So I think that's the problem, and I researched some of that in the past. But yeah, Google is the issue, and I think they use a crawler, and crawlers can eat up HTML super quickly, right? So even you can eat this up. I think if you click on F12 and yeah, if you go to F12, here's the whole HTML over here of this. Yeah, with some extra things that Google or Chrome probably adds to it, but this is basically the HTML file. Hello, do you have a robot.txt? I don't really have a robot.txt. Let's ask Mzansi what is a robot.txt. So I have some other thing in order for it to be indexed, but let's ask Mzansi what is that all about. So please tell me about red flag, hectic. Please tell me about robot.txt. Please tell me why it's a red flag. Let's listen.
Okay, let's talk about robots.txt. It's a really important file for webmasters. Basically, it's a text file you place in the root directory of your website. It tells web crawlers, like Googlebot, which parts of your site they shouldn't crawl. Think of it as a polite request, please don't go looking at this. It's a way to control how search engines index your website. You can use it to exclude things like admin areas, duplicate content, or large media files that aren't relevant to your users. Do you want me to delve into any specific aspects, like the basic syntax or how it impacts SEO?
So I'll answer your question now. Try my ball. But basically, what the robots.txt file is it tells Google's crawlers, like I was mentioning, the crawlers, that don't look at this link or don't look specifically at this thing, right? This page or this element in my website, right? So that's basically what Mzansi AI is telling us, right? And I'm seeing Try is saying, have you checked the inspect as agent Google? What is inspect as agent? What is that? User agent. Inspect as user agent Google. I don't know what that's all about. Let me know where I can find that. But yeah, so that's what the issues that we were facing were with Google, right? But we got it solved. In the next update of MIH, I will add this privacy policy to the Apple App Store also. Because if we go to the Apple App Store now, and here's MIH under my update section, and let's see where we can find that. Support, privacy policy, app privacy. Where would this even be? Yeah, see the developer's privacy policy. So you can see this one takes me to the privacy dash policy, which is a part of the web app. And you can see it's a back button instead of it being a button to take you into MIH. But in the next update of MIH, what we're going to do is we are going to add the new privacy policy to that one evening. Sawubona everyone. Thank you for joining this evening. So that's what we're going to add, right? So in version 1.1.1, the new thing, so for the Android users, you were 2 updates behind. So there's quite a few things. Oh, I'm on the wrong one. Let me switch accounts. Sorry, I want to switch accounts quickly. Continue. Oh my word. Why is Google being so difficult right now? Let's go to this one over here, right? Rather, because long stories is coming from Google side. So basically, under version 1.1.11, the people that were on Android, these are new features to you, right? So we have our Forex calculator. I know that calculator, well, never mind. I thought Google still couldn't crawl your privacy policy page. Oh, no problem. Thanks so much. But we kind of jibboed it in order to get it working. But thank you, Try, for the assistance. So if we have a look in, so this is Android users. iOS users, you've had this feature for I think one update already. But the calculator, we've added a Forex calculator to the MIH calculator. So if we go back a little bit, let's minimize this some more so you can see. Yeah, I'll put it like this. So if we click on calculator and go, so normally we would only have two tools under this specific package, which would be the simple calculator and the tip calculator. But in this update and 1.1.10's update, we introduced the Forex calculator. So what the Forex calculator is like what it says. It's just for you to calculate the foreign exchange. So let's try from USD to a ZAR, right? I always like checking this because it's the quickest one to check, to ZAR, and we click calculate, and we click on calculate. What happens is we get the currency conversion as of today's date. Right, so this is a new feature that was implemented with version 1.1.11. Make sure you download MIH right now and you're on the latest version of MIH to unlock these new features. Next, and I think I closed it. Oh, sorry. Next is we've added spell check. I don't know if it's working on the web, but I know for sure that it's working inside the iOS and Android version. But for some reason, I don't know why, it's not highlighting the mistakes, your spelling mistakes inside thingy. It works fine in dev, but when I published it, it didn't work. So I must just figure out why exactly that happened. And then also our ad banner, but I'll get into that later. But it's basically a little ad across MIH, so it's in different places inside MIH. Once you use specific functionality of MIH, you are then served with an ad, and this ad helps support MIH continue what we're doing, right? So as we provide you with some benefit, you are providing us with some benefit. So that's how our ad strategy is. Then next, what we have is under our quality of life improvements, we have the pack. So across all the MIH packages, we now align the button color. So if we go all the way, if we sign out, you'll see that we now use, for our main colors, we use a green button for our color. All right. So let's sign in with the test profile, and I'll show you this again. So if we click on the Mzansi profile, we now have a green button for update. This is just to draw your attention to this button. Before it was blue, and it felt like everything on the screen, there was just too much light blue on the screen. So we added some different colors over there. So it's also across other packages. So let's edit this card, and you'll see we have a green button also. So this is the button alignments across all packages inside MIH. The next one that we have is the dynamic toggle color. So if we head over to our Mzansi profile, and when we toggle this one, you'll see it toggles between red and green. So that was just it's just a quality of life improvement, a UX kind of improvement that we did to MIH. Very subtle. Most people will just scroll past it, but it's there just to make things a little bit better. You can see even under the tip calculator, if we say 100 and we say 10, we can split the bill over here. So if we toggle it on, you'll see that it changes to green and we can calculate. Let's close this and we can minimize it. And if we say calculate, you'll see now, because it's off and it was red, it shows the tip without splitting the bill. So that's one of the dynamic toggles that we were speaking about. Then we've enabled search. So you might have noticed this already. I did showcase this, but if we go over to our Forex calculator, let's say 100 amount, right? Let's go from a ZAR. So you can see right there, previously what you had to do was click on the arrow and then scroll through this manually, right? And search for the specific thing that you're looking for. Not a very nice user experience. We have improved that, we have updated that. Now all you have to do is search for what you want, and you search for what you want, and then it narrows down the drop down for you, and then you can just select the one that you are looking for. So the one that I'm looking for is USD. Then you click on calculate. So 100 Rand is $5.62, right? And we can confirm this with Google, so ZAR to USD. So it won't be super accurate, but you see, so 1 ZAR, or not 1, so let's put 100, is $5.64. So you can see the accuracy of, let me come back. So you can see the accuracy of MIH, that we are aligned to the current things. It is only updated once a day. Google's is a little bit more accurate than ours, but it is up to date daily. So we can close that. Let's see what else came out in this update. So that was everything for this. Is the ads not working? I'll get into that, Jay. So before we move on to the ad section, like Jay was asking about, let's look at the bug fixes. So number field mode didn't allow decimal places. So under here, previously we were only allowed to have whole numbers in, so no like cents. So every time you tried to add a point, it wouldn't put it in, but now it's available there. So it doesn't matter what your bill amount is. Let's say 127.9594. Let's say a 12% tip, and calculate. So you can see that it allows you to add a decimal points. It also allows you to put in, or it gives you the total with the cent, so you can see it is working. Next we have the prescription input. So the prescription input, what was happening there? I don't remember what this bug was about, but I know where it was. So if we come here, let's open up a patient's profile or a patient's medical record and generate a thing. I think over here what was happening is, I think you could probably go to minus and stuff, but we fixed that and everything is working fine now. Next is a drop down search by the wallet. So this is when you're adding a new card into your Mzansi wallet. If we go back to the wallet, into your Mzansi wallet, you're adding a new card. You can now search for a shop. Instead of clicking on the drop down and saying, okay, I want to look for where ShopRite is. Instead of doing that, you just now search for ShopRite. And you click on it, and then it automatically loads the card for you, right? So we've enabled that search. Then alignment and scaling. So this was regards to the patient profile that I showed over here. And for some reason, previously, it wasn't scaling together. They were moving at different speeds. But now, even if we go slowly, you'll see that they switch together and not separately. That was just a small UI and UX thingy. So now let's move on to what happened this week, right? So I'm going to flip the camera, then I can speak to you directly. So what happened was in 1.1.11, as I mentioned, we also introduced the MIH ads. So the ads are only available on the mobile platforms now, which is the Google Play Store and the Apple App Store. So that's the Android and iOS version of MIH. And what happened was after uploading or after deploying the change, I waited like maybe 1 or 2 days, and then I updated the Mzansi tab. If you can see here, the Mzansi tab to the latest version of MIH. But then what I noticed was that the ads weren't popping up. So Jay, just let me know if that's the issue that you were facing, that if you go into MIH now, the latest version 1.1.11, you probably are not seeing ads at the moment. So I'll show you on the tab so you can see we're logging on to MIH. We're just going to authenticate ourselves. And we are now in. But if I open up the card, you'll see that no ad is being served at the bottom, right? Yes, it's not working. So I'll show you the reason why. So let me update this MIH. So I was doing some testing today to understand why wasn't the ad showing up inside MIH, right? Because it was very strange to me that it works in dev, but in dev I'm using the test ad. So I can show you, I'll show you that a little bit later, but I'm using the test ad. So that's Google's proprietary test ad that you can use in development so that you don't mess up your account. And they say that you are trying to fraudulently get money by using your app in a test in a thing environment. So now, if I open up MIH, you can see on the screen right now. Hopefully you can see that. But it said failed to load ad, no full, right? So let me flip that for you. So the whole day today, I was trying to figure out why was the ads not showing up for us, right? Because it was very strange. It's been working for a couple days extremely fine. But what I figured out is that, or let's ask Mzansi to see if Mzansi can assist us with this problem. So in my Flutter app, I am using Google Mobile Ads, but I am getting the error message no full. What does that mean? Okay, let's see what Mzansi can tell us.
Hey there. Okay, no field errors with Google mobile ads can be a bit frustrating. Basically, it means the ad network wasn't able to serve an ad to your app at this time. It's a common issue. It doesn't always indicate a problem with your app itself, but more that the network was temporarily unavailable or didn't think your app was a good fit for an ad at that moment. Here are a few things you can check. Network connectivity. Make sure your device, or the device you're testing on, has a stable internet connection. Ad request configuration. Double check that your ad request is properly configured in your Flutter app ad unit ID. Ensure your ad unit ID is correct and hasn't been deactivated. Would you like me to elaborate on any of these points, or perhaps give you some general troubleshooting steps?
So I think Mzansi AI is lying to us right now, but that's okay because it's still learning. But I did go to Gemini to verify this, and so I gave it the same kind of message. Or is this the one? Now let's copy and paste that message of ours. Copy, new chat, and let's see. So no ad. So this is more accurate, right? So the reason why we aren't seeing ads, Jay, is not because the ads aren't, or the app is not working properly, or our implementation of the ads is not working. Let's listen to Gemini and see what Gemini is saying.
No-fill error in Google mobile ads. AdMob in your Flutter app means that AdMob could not find an ad to display for the ad unit you requested at that specific time. Here's a breakdown of what that means and the common reasons behind it. What no-fill means: no available ad. It's not necessarily an error in your code or integration. It simply means that AdMob's system, after evaluating various factors, determined there was no suitable ad to show to the user requesting it. Failed to monetize. From a developer's perspective, it means you didn't get paid for that particular ad request because an ad wasn't displayed.
So that's basically what it's all about, right? So there was no ads available. So on our side, on MIH's side, we requested for an ad, and we successfully requested for that ad. Thereafter requesting successfully for that ad, there was no ads available to give to us to display inside MIH. So that's basically what the problem was. So I was sitting the whole day trying to figure that out, why it wasn't showing up. So no more Timo ads, exactly. Exactly. So basically, and I don't think you're the only person getting Timo ads, but if we go to the ads section or our ads account inside thingy, I'll go to settings. I don't think there's any information that shouldn't be there, right? So if we go to account, wait, let me see quickly before I before I show you anything. Let me check. So let's see. I'm gonna take a screenshot instead of showing you because I'm not sure if some of these things are sensitive or not. So I'm gonna take a screenshot and I'll show you on the screen right now. So basically, if we have a look here, right? So this is what the ad account looks like. I covered up the personal information there at the top, but I think where the problem lied, don't want to get hacked now. Did you create an ad unit? 100% everything on our side is sorted. So I can show you my ad units and stuff because I don't think that's I'll show you that a little bit later. But basically, I was on different forums, multiple different places, and basically it was saying that this seller information it was confidential at first, but I thought I changed it to transparent. So basically what that means is, I think I closed it like a fool. So what that basically means is, I'm gonna go back to it now. So what that means is when you set yourself as transparent, the people who are selling ads, right, know who is consuming those ads that is being sold. So how do I say it? So like say for example, Timu is selling ads and I'm selling ad space inside MIH. When I set myself as transparent, as you can see on the screen right now, Timu can then know that Mzansi Innovation Hub is serving their ads on their platform. So that's basically what setting yourself as transparent does, right? That's my understanding of it. If you set it as confidential, so it says over here, if you set it as confidential, your business name and publisher ID will not appear in the seller. I think I can show this now. No, I can't show it. But basically, if I set it as confidential, which it was, my publisher ID and my business name, so Mzansi Innovation Hub, wasn't showing up on the sellers list. And most sellers like to serve ads on two businesses or platforms that are on the sellers list because they're more credible instead of some dodgy website, right? They would rather have it on a reputable website than a dodgy website. That's my understanding of it. So I did set it to transparent. I'm gonna wait until tomorrow and see what happens based on this one over here. So we'll have to wait and see, but it's not something that I can code for to change for. So I see who was saying that question over here. So Sadoba Gaming. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly, but yeah, we did create the ad units separate for both iOS and Android. So that was set up. We created our apps. We followed all of those steps, but we had to, and I thought I did set it to transparent. Thank you so much for the help. Right? Yeah, and also Jay, I don't want to get hacked. So basically, that's what the issues that we were facing were. That's what I was spending the whole day trying to figure out. Let me show you the Git timeline. Please don't judge me. I was frustrated and I was trying everything. But you can see I'm sitting on the main branch right now inside MIH. And you can see that from way back. So where's the main one? So I think this one over here. So this is new version. So this was me adding it to the new version, right, of MIH. But if you look after that, I was pushing changes So, okay, maybe after these things, I want pushing changes directly to production. But from here, guys, from here all the way up, I was trying everything and I was pushing stuff directly into production branch and testing it out just to be quick because it's kind of tedious creating a branch, then publishing that branch, then submitting it again, reviewing it, all that other garbage. I didn't want to do that, but you can see I was doing a lot today and I was pushing directly into production, which is quite bad. But yeah, struggles. I see there are a bunch of scammers on Kick right now. So let me show you guys. So this is what I see on my side, right, when I'm chatting to you. So you can see this is you on TikTok. And then, so I'm showing the TikTok people. So you can see here's our Kick chat. There's the YouTube chat or YouTube and, YouTube and Twitch. So you can see here on Kick, we have a whole bunch of scammers saying that I can buy subs from them. So how do other developers without having to publish via the Play Store? Very good question. Sorry, Jay was asking, how does other developers have live updates within their app without having to update the application like via the Google Play Store or the Apple App Store? So we can Google that. I think I did do some research in the past, but it's not really an acceptable way of doing things. So how do I publish updates to my app? How do I publish updates to my users? To my app users without going through the Google Play Store, without going through the Google Play Store. Maybe it's because they have or server-side rendering on their application. I'm not sure, but let's see.
Hey there, that's a great question. You're looking to push updates directly to your users. Smart move. Unfortunately, without the Google Play Store, you're limited. The Play Store handles all the distribution and updates for Android apps. However, if you've built your app using a framework like React Native or Flutter, you can use their built-in tools for releasing updates. These frameworks often have their own update mechanisms. Could you tell me a little more about how your app was built? Knowing the technology you used will help me give you more specific advice. Alternatively, you can always explore the Mzansi Innovation Hub social media pages for further assistance.
Thank you, Mzansi AI. So basically, it's saying if we don't go through the Google Play Store, they normally distribute the updates to apps, right? However, if you're using React Native, which I think is which is another framework, or Flutter, which is what we're using, then there's other mechanisms. Let's see. Let's tell Mzansi AI we are using Flutter for our app.
Okay, fantastic. Flutter is a brilliant choice. For publishing updates to your Flutter app directly to users, you'll primarily use the Flutter Release Channel feature. Here's the breakdown. 1. Create a release channel. In your Flutter project, you can set up different release channels, for example, stable, beta. This allows you to distribute new versions to users without needing the Google Play Store. 2. Build a release APK or IPA. You will build a release package, APK for Android, IPA for iOS. Containing your updated app. 3. Distribute the release package. You can then send this release package directly to your users via email, your website, or a direct link. You can find more detailed information and tutorials on how to do this on the official Flutter documentation, https://
I feel like Mzansi AI is lying to us. So we'll go to Gemini just to validate. Because it was saying we must send a link out to people. In-app update mechanism. So let's Yo, look at the long stories.
While the Google Play Store is the primary way to distribute and update Android apps, there are several methods to publish updates to your users without going through it. These methods are often referred to as sideloading or direct distribution. Here's how you can do it, along with considerations for each method. 1. Direct hosting and in-app update mechanism. This is the most common and robust approach for distributing updates outside of Google Play. Host the APK AAB. You'll need a server, your own, a cloud storage service like Firebase Storage, AWS S3, or even GitHub releases to host your updated Android application package, APK, or Android App Bundle, AAB, file. Implement an in-app update checker. Version check. Your app needs to periodically check a remote source, e.g., a simple JSON file on your server, for the latest version code. This version code should be higher than the currently installed version. Download and install. If a newer version is available, the app should prompt the user to download the new APK AAB file. Once downloaded,
Nah, this is... Mzansi AI was a little bit better at the answer than this one. Maybe my question was wrong, but let's say I use Flutter, and because I know what you're speaking about, Jay. If you look at WhatsApp, WhatsApp does that all the time. I don't ever update WhatsApp, but things are permanently changing over there. So I know exactly what you're speaking about. So I use Flutter and want the changes to automatically happen for users. More nuance and the thing. Yo, long stories over here. But let's see. Let's listen to the first paragraph. Ah, did it fail? Yo, Google's voice.
you're aiming for automatic updates for your Flutter app without the Play Store, which is a bit more nuanced than a simple download and install prompt. Automatic can mean different things, and the feasibility depends on the level of automatic you want to achieve in the platform, Android, iOS. Here's a breakdown of how you can approach automatic updates in Flutter outside of the Play Store, from less to more automatic, along with their pros and cons. 1. Soft updates with Firebase Remote Config or similar backend. This is the most common and safest way to dynamically change app behavior and UI without a full app update. It's not a full app update in the sense of installing a new APK, but it gives you a lot of flexibility. How it works. You use a service like Firebase Remote Config or your own API to store configuration values, e.g., a boolean show underscore new underscore feature, a string welcome underscore message, a version number min underscore required underscore app underscore version. Your Flutter app fetches these values from the backend when it starts up or periodically. Based on these values, your app dynamically adjusts its UI, enables, disables features, or displays messages. For updates, you can set a min underscore required underscore app underscore version in remote config. If the user's installed app version is below this minimum, you can display a persistent message or a full screen dialog, forcing them to update. The update here means directing them to your website to download the new APK or to an alternative app store. Pros.
Okay, we're not gonna go into the pros and the cons and stuff. I think, Jay, how WhatsApp and stuff does it is probably the soft updates. What's number 2? Over the air updates. Push to I'm thinking it's this one over here. So they have like flags inside built into the application already to show different things, but I'm really not sure how they getting it. How they getting the stuff. This is the closest you'll get to truly automatic updates. Let's listen.
Real-time changes. Changes can be applied instantly or after a configurable fetch interval. No App Store review. You control the content. Feature flagging. Excellent for A/B testing and rolling out features gradually. Less intrusive. Doesn't require a full reinstallation. Cons. Cannot update native code or Flutter engine. If you change native plugins, or a new Flutter SDK version requires a fundamental change, this method won't work. Not a true app update. Users still need to manually install a new APK for core app changes. 2. Over-the-air, OTA, updates, code push, e.g. Shorebird. This is the closest you can get to truly automatic updates for Flutter apps outside of the Play Store. How it works. Services like Shorebird provide a mechanism to push Dart code changes directly to users' devices. Your app includes a modified Flutter engine that checks for updates on startup. If a patch is available, it downloads and applies it. The update is typically visible on the next app restart. What it updates? Dart code. This includes your Flutter UI, business logic, and Dart-only dependencies. Assets, images, fonts, etc. What it cannot update? Native code. If you change platform-specific code, Kotlin, Java for Android, Swift, Objective-C for iOS, or native Flutter plugins that involve native code changes, you'll still need a full app update. Flutter engine. You cannot update the Flutter SDK version itself. Pros. Truly automatic for Dart code. Users don't need to manually install anything. Fast bug fixes and feature rollouts. Bypass App Store review.
Oh my word. So that second one over here sounds like what you're talking about, Jay. However, we again using a third-party tool. Ship fast, break, things scratched out. Okay. Pricing. We always check the pricing. So 5,000 users. So estimated cost to send out these patches to users. So imagine as we increase, and this is probably, yeah, it's a monthly cost. Small apps, demos. Yeah, I don't want to rely on another third-party tool. Because say we 2 million plus users using MIH, then we're not going to. Then look, you'll even have to contact them if you have so many users. But it gets up there in price. Just before 2 million, it's at, let's see. I think it's 800. 800 is, yeah, it's 800 is the most. Imagine per month. But yeah, I don't think that's the option. This third one over here, but we'll have to run through all of these things, and it's kind of boring listening to this. So let's see this method. So implementing a custom in-app update mechanism, manual but automatic check. This is the method described in the previous answer, tailored for Flutter. It gives you control by requiring users interaction for the final installation step. Yeah, so this is actually installing the application itself. Yeah, I don't know, Jay. I'm not sure. Let me know if any of you have any other suggestions out there of how we can push updates out to our users without going through the Google Play Store, because it is a little bit tedious, but I guess it is the best way. And there's other protections for small fixes, definitely useful for small fixes. I agree with that, but all these options that they told us about, that Gemini told us about, let's see the first option, which is option 2. Option 2, is it option 2? Where am I? Yeah, this fire what? Let's see. Short bird, okay. Yeah, Firebase remote config. Once again, it's using Firebase. And I know for a fact Firebase is definitely a pricey tool to use as you expand, obviously. But yeah, both of these, I'm not happy with these solutions. But we'll keep looking, and we'll try figure out how we can do this other than putting up the APK itself. Cause I feel like that's kinda sketchy. Kinda sketchy, I think. But yeah, that's what we that's it. Is there any other questions out there? So what was I telling you about? Yeah, my ad situation. The ad situation was not looking good, so I'll wait and see tomorrow. Like I was saying, I changed it up from confidential to transparent, and by doing that, we managed to, or hopefully, we'll manage to get new ads served to us. And if not, then what I'll do is I'll continue investigating to figure out what exactly the problem is. Now that I know that it's not a problem with MIH itself, it's the problem. The problem is that there's no ads to serve to you because no one wants to give us the ads. Yeah, that's the current problem. So we'll wait and see. Hopefully, yeah, hopefully tomorrow that will happen. And now that I know that this is not really an issue, a code issue inside MIH, I can now move on to working on the Mzansi directory. So I'll just open that up for you now. In last week's lives, what we did was we designed the new Mzansi directory together here on the MIH lives. So this is what it would look like. So once you open up the Mzansi directory, there'll be another tile on the screen. Let's go back somewhere over here. I'll figure out where to put it, and I'll ask you also where we can put this. Where should we position it? But we can have it somewhere over here, and once you click on that tile, it'll first take you to your contacts. So over here you'll see your pending contacts, your people, so the people that you're already connected with. Then if you swipe over, just like what we do, just like over here, we'll click on the new tool at the top, and it'll take you to the next value. Sorry, let me add this to favorites. Right? So when you click on the new tile, it'll take you to a new tool. When you click on the new tool icon, sorry, it'll take you to a new tool in this package. So basically that's what's going to happen. So there's going to be 3 tools at the top, and the first one will take you to your contacts. The second one will take you to your favorite businesses. And the third one will be a search. Let me know if you like the order of things. If you want search to be at the front, or if you want contacts to be at the end, let me know the order that you wanted. But the current order is contacts, favorites, and then it's contacts, favorites, and then it is search. And if you click on any one of these profiles over here, that's a personal profile under your contacts, it will take you to your Mzansi profile. This is what the new Mzansi profile would look like for now in the beginning, but we'll add more stuff onto it. Yeah, we'll add more stuff onto it. I think I'm trying to figure out how to do things nicely, but yeah, it'll take you here. And if you click on one of the businesses, under your favorite businesses, say you click on that, it'll take you to this design over here in the middle, V1.75, where you'll see the business's profile picture, you'll see the business's name, you'll see their mission and their vision, you'll see the ratings of this business, and there's also different features that you can do. I don't know what to call this, but different things that you can do, different actions that you can do on this business profile. You can either call them, you can email them, you can find their location, you can navigate to their website, you can rate them, or you can add them to your favorites. Adding them to your favorites will basically, thank you so much, Temba, for the follow. Adding them to the favorites will basically take you back to the Mzansi directory, the favorites one. It'll add them over here, right? And that's where you would find your favorites. So that's what we are currently working on. And tomorrow I'm going to get started on working on that functionality inside MIH. Yeah, it's going to take some time. It's definitely going to take some time to do this, because I'll have to update the back end to cater for these new fields like website, like rating, all of those other things, and the section for like their bio. But we call so on the person's or on the personal side, it'll be your purpose. What's your purpose in life? You can add that in, and then under the business's side, it'll be what's their mission and their vision, just so that you can understand what this business is all about before you choosing them. And later on, once we have this all set up, the Mzansi directory set up and everything, then we can start looking at other functionalities like booking an appointment with someone, because we have the business calendar already inside, so we can add booking an appointment. But booking the appointment will basically have other functionalities where on the business side there'll have to be a place to manage, like you'll have to approve it or decline it and things like that. So notifications will also have to be another thing that we get sorted out. We've had it in the past, but it was a very rudimentary implementation of notifications. But what I want to have, or what I want to use or send, is push notifications, which is something completely different that we've never worked on before. And we'll have to figure out how to do that and get that sorted. So let me know if you have any ideas for MIH or for the Mzansi directory. Right? The ordering of the Mzansi directory tools itself, the business and personal profile, if they are nice, if you think we should add any other things. So one of the suggestions from another member of Mzansi, they were saying that maybe when you click on a person's profile, so a normal person and not a business, then you are able to see their favorited businesses. I don't know if that is something that you guys would like, but say I click on Jay's profile inside MIH, I'll be able to see all the favorited businesses of Jay. Do you want something like that, or do you feel like your favorite businesses are something personal to you and it shouldn't be shared with other people? That's why at the moment we have nothing over there, but let me know if you think something like that will be better. It'll just be a better way of me connecting with my friends. So maybe we can have it as only your connections are able to see your favorites and stuff like that. So we'll have to add a little more layers into the directory and to the profiles and things like that. But one step at a time, we will get things going. We'll get things sorted quite quickly. I have basically all the elements there. It's just some back-end things that I need to change. But cool. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining the live this evening. I really appreciate you. I appreciate the feedback, the conversation and the suggestions from everyone on or listening tonight. It was quite nice. And I'm glad that our issues are now resolved or semi-resolved, and we can move on to the Mzansi directory. I'm quite excited for that, to see what it looks like and all of those different kinds of things. But cool. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining the live this evening. I appreciate you. I will be alive again tomorrow, and I think in tomorrow's session, what we'll do is we'll basically just sit and code the Mzansi directory. And you can ask me questions about the MIH code, how it all works. We are using Flutter as a framework and Dart as the language, so it's something new to you. You can ask me questions about it, or questions about your own journey on your own applications. But yeah, we'll do that tomorrow. Thank you, and let's keep working hard, Mzansi.